We're live. Hey players, welcome to another live stream here on my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh. Every single week I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. And in this live stream, we're going to be talking about how to ask your crush out for Valentine's Day. If there's a girl that you like, someone you want to get a gift for, someone that you're working up the courage to approach and actually start talking to, we're going to cover all those questions today. Now, this live stream is going to be different from the previous ones where I kind of shared tips and points. This live stream, I want to focus solely on answering your guys' questions. So I want you to just bombard the chat with questions, things that are on your mind, questions that you have about Valentine's Day, things you're worried about, things you're nervous about. Let's make this live stream a super impactful one for all the people out there who have questions and want help with something in their lives. Now, before I get into any kind of questions, I do want to give shout outs to all the early birds, all of you right now in the chat. So if you're here watching along with us, say hey in the chat and I'll give you guys your shout out. Let's see who's in the chat today. Atlanta Boy says, Josh Rodriguez, Atlanta Boy, good to see you. Hamish K, Hamish, always a pleasure to see you in here. Anthony is in here. Ant Bake Studios is in here. Caleb Covers, Rage Master, Alex Funny Act, Terrence G, Zimmy Videos, R. Froist Rage, Noob Plays, Ryan Razon, Emma Peterson, Anthony James, MDH Games, Ravage for Savage, Phoenix is in here. Millie K-Pop. Let's see, who didn't I say yet? Detective Penguin. Yelsha is trash. No new plays. Peels Goy Way. That's a hard word to say. Kuliman last name. Owl J. TXYO. Yes, try to say that 5 times fast. Sebastian Hatsker Zurizian. R4 is Borna, AX, Zimmy. We got a lot of people in here. Nigel Williams, it's a pleasure, and I'm so happy to be here with you guys. Like I said, this live stream is going to focus heavily on answering your guys' questions. So if you haven't already hit the thumbs up on this live stream, let me know that you like it. Let me know that you're enjoying it, because that's going to help other people discover it too as they come into YouTube and they kind of search and they just are getting ready for those last-minute Valentine's Day preparations. So hit the like button. Let me know what you guys think. So I want to jump in and answer some of your guys' questions. So I'm going to just kind of pull questions from the chat. If you have a question that you feel is super important, like you need my answer, you're sitting here going, Josh, I 100% need your answer right now, you can always use the super chat function. For me, I treat that like if you have a burning question and you want to put it out there in front and center, I think that's the best way to do it. Use the super chat function. I guess that like button thing isn't working well on OBS. I got to fix that. But anyway, hit the like button, guys. And if you have, like I said, if you have a burning question, use the super chat function. It's there to kind of put your question front and center. I'll stop what I'm talking about. I will answer your question. So without further ado, let's jump in and answer some guys' questions. Just me name Ali says, Josh, how do you ask your crush out on a dance? It's our prom tonight. Okay, Ali, you only have a little bit of time, so you got to act quick. If tonight's your prom, I think the best way to ask them for a dance is, you got to understand this. When people go to a dance, a lot of times there's a lot of nervousness and awkwardness. There's a fear of like, well, do I dance with people? Do I hang out with my friends? Do I stay alone? I think that with dances, you have to understand that everything moves very casually. People are there to have a good time. They're there to be laid back. They're there to just enjoy the music, enjoy time with friends. So when it comes to asking your crush for a dance, I think the first thing is, don't focus so much on asking for a slow dance. Focus more on asking for a dance that's a party song, something that's more enjoyable, something that maybe you and a group of people can all dance in a circle too. That's going to help break the ice and allow your crush to feel a little bit more comfortable dancing around you and even with you. And the more that you do that, the more songs that you dance with them, you may eventually want to kind of grab their hand and say, hey, listen, let's go take a break from dancing and let's just talk and catch up, or let's go get something to eat. If there's food there, serve it at the dance. Like I said, you want to kind of introduce yourself as like, hey, we're going to spend this time together tonight and it's going to be fun and we're all going to hang out and we're all just going to enjoy ourselves. So when you kind of create that atmosphere for your crush, it becomes way easier for them to want to dance with you. Hamish says, gave this video generously. Thank you so much, Hamish. I appreciate it. Let's see. Atlanta Boy says, I'm trying to get my preschool girlfriend back, but she doesn't seem to remember me. What should I do? So Atlanta Boy, we talked about this very briefly, but ideally, here's the thing, that if there was a girl that you dated in preschool, realistically, she's not going to remember as much or have the same feelings, because you got to understand preschool was quite a bit of time ago for you. And I think that What you really should focus more on is reestablishing a new type of relationship with her. Now, you want her to see the new you, how you've grown since your preschool day. So the best way to kind of do that is to kind of just start up a conversation with her and say something like, wow, I feel like I haven't talked to you in so long. Let's hang out. Let's catch up. Let's get to know each other better after all this time. That's going to kind of open the doorway now for you to kind of start a conversation with her to kind of catch up on all the time that you guys have kind of spent apart from each other. Yancey says, hey Josh, I totally forgot to get my crush a Valentine's Day gift. What do I do? Okay, so this is something I think a lot of you guys are probably stressing about or worrying about. You want to get your crush a Valentine's Day gift, but you don't really know what you should get or where you should get it or how or why you should get it. You just feel like you should. Now, I want you to kind of challenge that notion and think about that for a second. What is propelling you? What's pushing you to feel like you should get them a gift? Part of it might be just because it's Valentine's Day and that's kind of what you do. Another part might be, well, I want to use this as a way to kind of win them over or get their attention or show them that I like them. I think that getting someone a gift all depends on how close you are with them. If the person you want to get a gift for, and Yancey, this goes for you and for everyone else too that is thinking about getting a gift for their crush. If your crush is not someone that you regularly talk to or you regularly hang out with, or you've been friend zoned by them in some way, I think getting them a gift is not going to have the intended outcome that you want it to, right? The outcome that you probably want is that, hey, I give them a gift and wow, they may like me back. So I think instead of focusing so much on getting them a gift, you maybe want to focus on spending that day to get to know them better, to talk to them, to ask them to hang out or something of that nature. I feel like I have a hair in my face. But let's say you do want to get a gift. What is a good gift? Well, there's absolutely nothing wrong with getting candy. Like you can go to CVS or go to Rite Aid or go to one of these places, these pharmacies, and just buy a whole big bag of candy. So you can have a bunch of little candies and stuff, and you can give that to your crush. You can give that out to lots of different people. You can make it just your thing. Sorry. So, hey, Hamish sent a £2 super chat. Hamish, thank you so much. I truly, truly appreciate it, Hamish. It really does mean a lot to me. Hamish said, I will be more lonely than ever this Valentine's Day. Hamish, I'm really sorry to hear that. I know where you're coming from, and I know how you feel. I think a lot of people in here feel that way. In fact, let's do a chat poll here. I want to get everyone's opinion on this. For those of you that are in here, the way chat polls work is it's a yes or no type of question. Share your answer in the chat. And the question I want to ask you guys is, are you going to be spending Valentine's Day single? Meaning you're going to be spending it all alone, all by yourself. Yes or no? Right? Yes, if you're going to be alone on Valentine's Day. Right? No, if you have someone to spend it with, or you're going to spend it with your friends, or you are going to go out somewhere, or you're not even celebrating Valentine's Day, so you're not even thinking about it. But if you're going to be single on Valentine's Day, write yes in the chat. If you're not, write no. I want to hear what all of you guys are going to say. I'm going to be spending Valentine's Day with my wife, and we don't really have a lot planned for Valentine's Day. I think that one thing that we enjoy doing is just being in each other's company. So there are Valentine's Day-esque things that we will do, but it's not going to be this huge grand thing that I think a lot of people expect Valentine's Day to be. So I asked you guys, are you going to be single on Valentine's Day? Here's what you guys had to say. The scientist said yes. Sebastian, yes. Kuhlman says probably. Dono says yes. Dono, good to see you, man. Happy to have you in here. Confetti says yes. ZXCF says yes. Saying these names really quickly is hard. Elena Boy says yes, I'll be lonely. Who did I miss? Dark Tar says yes, unfortunately. I'm seeing all yeses in here. Yes, 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 but that's cool with me. Yes. Hamish, a bunch of yeses. I missed it. LJ Jones says yes. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon says yes. Yep, so it sounds to me like a lot of you guys are going to, not even a lot, I'd say pretty much everyone in here, for the most part, except for Sam. Sam said no. Detective says, no girl I know digs greasers. I hear you on that. I understand where you're coming from. Caleb says, for the 14th time in a row, I will be single. By the way, I'm 14. That's fair. I mean, you probably wouldn't have dated anyone probably, 11 years old and younger, but I get what you're saying. It's like, Valentine's Day has never been something that you've kind of appreciated or liked because maybe it hasn't worked out in the way that you wanted to. I get where you're coming from on that. So it sounds like a lot of you guys are going to be single. A few of you are not. But for those of you that are going to be single on Valentine's Day, just like Hamish said, I get it. I get where you're coming from. There's this kind of feeling that sits in the air on Valentine's Day where you feel like it's supposed to be super romantic. You're supposed to spend it with someone. You look around and maybe other people are with their girlfriends or boyfriends, or they're hanging out with their crushes, or they're just not in that same funk as you. And I understand where you're coming from on that. That's why I think that we need to kind of look at Valentine's Day as more than just this romantic holiday where you're supposed to spend it romantically with people. I think that an important way to approach Valentine's Day, and this is something I look at also for like birthdays, I try to take these specific monumental days and reshape them. So with Valentine's Day, the way that I would say reshape Valentine's Day is use it as a day to practice love in any way that you can. That may mean self-love. That may mean taking time on Valentine's Day to tell yourself, you know what? I'm worthy of love. I'm someone who matters. What I have to say matters. And I'm going to care for myself today. Maybe that means getting a little extra sleep. Maybe that means picking out and eating something, junk food that's just going to taste good and make you feel happy. Maybe that means playing your favorite video game or hanging out with friends or just relaxing, not doing anything and just relaxing. Focus part of your day on that self-love piece. I think that that's going to help you kind of reshape Valentine's Day. And another thing is, Valentine's Day is the perfect day to practice gratitude, right? Practice gratitude for the people in your life that you do love and care for. That may be your parents or your friends or your siblings or even your crush or your boyfriend or girlfriend. Take time to think about how you care about those people and express that gratitude to them. Let them know. Sometimes we get so bogged down in that, I don't have a girlfriend or I don't have a boyfriend on Valentine's Day, but, we're neglecting the people around us that help build us into who we are every single day. We're neglecting the love and the care and the kindness and the peace that they offer us that help shape us into who we are. So really try to appreciate them more today. I think that they deserve it and you deserve it too. So like I said, if you're going to be single on Valentine's Day, in my mind, that's a good way to start to reshape it so that you're not as bogged down by I don't have a girlfriend or I'm not with someone, into, hey, this is going to be a day that I'm actually going to pay attention to just love and how that takes form in my own life. So I'm going to jump in and answer some more questions. Jovi says, just subscribe. Jovi, happy to have you on board. I really hope you enjoy the live stream. And I hope that the tips that I share and the things that I, kind of put out there are things that can help motivate you in some kind of way. Now, another thing I would say is that if you are going to be single on Valentine's Day, you don't have anyone to spend it with, guys, we have a Discord channel. And we have a vent board on that Discord channel where if you're just upset or it's bothering you and you have these angry feelings and you want to let them out, get on our Discord channel, jump on the vent board and just let it all out. Express how angry you are, express your feelings on that board. What's cool about our Discord channel is that we have such an awesome community there of people that want to help each other or are interested in learning and sharing stuff with each other. People on there share their artwork. People on there have conversations and debates and just joke around and have fun with each other. So I have the wrong one set up for my Discord. Video capture. I don't know. It's pulling the webcam one, not this one. Siphon client. That's what I want to put. Okay. Anyway, so I would highly recommend joining the Discord, guys. I think that you would really, really enjoy it, really, really like it. I think that's a place where we can all communicate and have fun. So I would recommend joining it. I think it would be helpful. It'd be a great way to spend Valentine's Day if you just want to kind of let your feelings out and talk to people who are in a similar boat as you. So I want to jump in and answer some more questions here, guys. I hope you're enjoying the live stream. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up on it. We're at 33 likes. Let's see if we can get this to 50 likes, guys. Okay. Next question on here. Detective Penguin says, me being alone on Valentine's Day is kind of my fault for putting it off and chickening out to talk to her. Detective Penguin, I totally get where you're coming from. In fact, the video that I put up on last week was all about why you need to ask your crush out for Valentine's Day now. Now, this is something I kind of bring up to people every single year, whether it's Valentine's Day, whether it's prom, whether it's homecoming, whether it's any kind of event, any kind of thing that you're going to celebrate, your school is celebrating, whatever it is, any kind of big thing. People tend to wait till the last minute because they don't know how to ask that person out, or they don't know what to say, or they don't know what to do. I think that ultimately it's important to start building that relationship before the event gets there. Because if you start working on building it before the event gets there, when the day actually comes, it'll be easier for you to ask that person out. So here's what I mean. Let's say Valentine's Day is tomorrow, right? Let's say last week you decided to ask your crush to hang out on Friday. Hey, what are you doing on Friday? Let's go get something to eat after school. Okay, the two of you go out, you grab fast food, whatever, you sit, you talk for an hour, you catch up, you get to know each other a little better. Okay, now that your crush has spent time hanging out with you one-on-one, what do you think is going to happen when you ask them the second time to hang out? Do you think it's going to be easier for them to say yes or harder for them to say yes or no? Or you know what I mean? I think that ultimately it becomes easier to have a second date once you've already broken the approach anxiety and the awkwardness around the first date. But if you're waiting for that first date to be on Valentine's Day, well, now you have that added pressure of it being Valentine's Day, which is why I put such a huge emphasis on not waiting to the last minute to do these things. Sometimes though, it's crunch time, you're in the last minute, like today's the day before Valentine's Day, and you want to, you want to ask them out. So, you have to go for it. You have to do it if you really feel like you're ready for it. So sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. All right, jump into the next question here. PL's Goyway says, hey Josh, I want to know if it's weird if I just go up to girls tomorrow at school courtyard and ask them to be my Valentine. Is this an acceptable thing to do? That's an interesting question. I think that the challenge you may run into is that if the girls don't know you or there isn't some kind of bond there, they may think it's weird. They may get a little creeped out. They may be confused. I think that what you're probably aiming for here is like, hey, if I ask out enough girls or ask enough girls to be my Valentine, maybe one of them will say yes, right? So it's kind of the law of numbers here. But I think ultimately you have to ask yourself this. Are you looking to just fill that slot of I just need a Valentine? Or are you looking to spend Valentine's Day with someone that you actually care about? Someone you actually want to get to know better? Someone that you can actually build something with? So I think instead of just randomly choosing girls and just trying to ask out as many as possible with the hope that one says yes, I think instead think of maybe 2 or 3 girls that you really like and focus on only asking them. But don't just ask them. Talk to them first, joke around with them a little bit, ask them if they have plans for Valentine's Day, and make plans on the spot then and there with them. If you do that to only 2 or 3 girls, you're going to focus more on the quality of what you say and less on the quantity of how many girls you're talking to. Okay, let's jump back and answer some more questions in here, guys. Let's see. Anthony James says, Josh, I want to ask a girl out I like on Valentine's Day. Should I bring her like a teddy bear or chocolate? Also, can we talk later on Instagram after party? Yeah, so since he brought it up, I'll share that with you guys here. For those of you that know, some of you do, some of you don't. After this live stream, these live streams are generally about an hour, so from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. my time. After this live stream, I'm going to be jumping over on Instagram for the Instagram after party. So what's the Instagram after party? Well, again, I forgot to switch all these back to this camera. The Instagram after party is pretty much us hanging out on Instagram. I jump on, I live stream, I chat with you guys. I love to bring you guys on to video chat with me. And we just have an awesome community there in the Instagram after party. It's pretty exclusive party. So follow me over on Instagram. That way you can be a part of the Instagram after party, guys. We have a lot of fun over there too. So yeah, he wanted to talk to me after Instagram, on Instagram in the after party. Yep. Request a video join and I'll bring you on if anything. But to his question, should he get a teddy bear? Should he get her chocolates? I think that it's tough because a lot of people, I think you have to operate within what's easier for you. The reason why I lean more towards candy than a teddy bear is that with candy, it's not always as explicit as a teddy bear. A teddy bear candy is something they could put in their bag and kind of walk around. Carry, but a teddy bear is something that's kind of like big and there. And I feel like a teddy bear carries more weight in terms of a romantic gift than candy does. So like I said, it all depends on how close you are with that person. If you are closer to them and you feel like the two of you maybe flirt or talk to each other, maybe go for the teddy bear. If not, go for the candy. Another option is you can always just give them a Valentine's Day card, right? You can pick up a card for a buck or whatever it is and give them a card. Write a really thoughtful message in there. I think that could be something they enjoy. Okay, I'm looking through here. Cat Angel 4000M says, I wish I have a serious case of one-itis and I've had it for 5 years. We have candygrams at my school for Valentine's Day, and my crush didn't get any, and I feel stupid for not buying one for her. How do I make up for it? So, Cat Angel, some schools have candygrams, some of them have singing telegrams. Schools sometimes have a lot of different Valentine's Day things happening, but you can always go rogue and just get your own candy and deliver it to her, or bring it to her, or share with her at lunch. I think that if you feel like you've missed the opportunity to do the conventional thing, it's totally okay to break norm. Like I said, it's like you want to get closer to your crush and you want to build something with them. So the only way you're really going to do that is by doing something that stands out, by showing them that you're interested in them and that you really want to get to know them better. So if everyone's doing candygrams, do the opposite of candygrams, whatever that may be in your school. Let's see. Garlic Bread says, oof, man, just shoot your shot and ask her out, or ask her to be a Valentine before that other dude does. You'll regret it if you don't. Yep. So I don't know what the specific question was, but even to that point, let's kind of address that idea. You like this girl, or you like someone and someone else likes him too. Well, what are you going to do if they ask that person out first? I think that if you're sitting and waiting for the right opportunity or the right moment or the right thing to say, you're going to end up shooting yourself in the foot, simply because you're going to pass over the chance to actually make an impression, to actually get closer to them, simply because you're hoping that all the stars are going to align. Well, I'll be honest with you here. The first time you probably ever talk to your crush, it's going to be a little awkward. It's going to be a little weird. You're not going to know what to say. You may stumble over your words, and that's okay. Because the whole idea is not to just nail it and be perfect and always get it right the first time around. Life is really about practice. And the more that you practice talking to your crush, whether first starting with just saying hi to them and then working your way up to a conversation, the more that you practice that, the easier it's going to be to actually start to build something with them and to feel confident around them. Because sometimes you're going to be confident when you're talking to your crush, you're just going to feel it. And other times you're not going to feel it. And you need to work on that. So, I think that if you're afraid that someone else is going to ask out your crush first, let that be the fire under you that pushes you forward to actually go for it. Okay, let's jump in and answer some more questions here. Dono shared the icebreakers there. Yeah, Dono, thank you so much for sharing the icebreakers. I'll put them up here just so everyone knows. Same thing. I had to switch the camera. Anyway. So Donald shared the icebreaker conversation starters. So for a lot of you guys, you may be wondering, hey, how do I start a conversation? What do I say? How do I get the ball rolling there? You don't really know what to use or what kind of conversation topics to bring up. Well, I've put together this free guide, which is 20 different conversation topics and how to go deeper into conversations with these specific points. So there you see I have hypothetical situations set up, and a hypothetical situation could be something like, hey, if you were stranded on a desert island, what would be the one food you'd want to eat for the rest of your life, or something like that. Like these fun, silly hypothetical situations that can actually get them involved, get them to be interactive and things like that. So check out the icebreakers. I think that'll be super helpful for you guys as you move forward towards getting more comfortable around your crush. Okay. Let's jump and answer some more questions on here. Let's see. Emma says, I'm on my way to Valentine's Day celebration. I'm sitting in traffic. Awesome, Emma. Yeah, look, Valentine's Day situation. Valentine's Day is another thing, too. Spend time with people that you care about. Friends, family. You don't always have to have a boyfriend or have a girlfriend or do the conventional thing. You could break the rules. You could change things up. Like I said before, I think the one takeaway that we can all gain from Valentine's Day is using it as a day to practice more self-love. And someone there, who was it? I just saw someone mention Sonic. Yeah, Rage Master says, are you going to watch a Sonic movie with your girlfriend tomorrow? Yeah, so I'm going to pull that up here because I'm curious, guys. I want to know your opinions. How many of you guys are going to go watch the Sonic the Hedgehog movie on Valentine's Day? Or even Valentine's Day weekend? How many of you guys are planning on spending Valentine's Day and just watching Sonic and just enjoying that for what it is? I'm curious to know. I'm probably not going to watch it this week, and I'm probably going to wait till it's on like Netflix or one of those and watch it then. I get very lazy when it comes to going to the movies. I'm very selective when I go to the movies, but I'm curious to know how many of you guys are actually going to go watch Sonic to get an idea who's going to check it out. All right, and then I'll see what you guys had to say. So I'm going to jump in and answer some more questions on here. Sebastian says no. R4 says, R Frost says no. Detective not. Anthony, not me. Jalen says, yes. I'm seeing a bunch of no's. Probably not. Hell no. I have a friend that really loves film. No, I probably will. No, no. Oh my God. Hamish says, no, no, no. I will just vent. Anthony says, yes. Detective says, I heard it wasn't good. Atlanta Boy says, nah, not my thing. Donna says, I forgot the movie was coming out. I might. Jalen says, well, not on Valentine's Day. Cat Angel says, no, I have the same plan as Josh, to be honest. I might be spending it lonely. No, nah. Okay, no one's really, very few people are going to actually watch Sonic tomorrow. So I wonder how it's going to perform in the box office. You know, I wonder if a lot of couples are going to go or what the turnout's going to be. Guess we'll see. All right, let's jump in and answer some more questions here. I hope that what I'm sharing and what we're talking about has been helpful for you guys so far. If you haven't already, like I said, hit the thumbs up button. Let's get this to 50 likes. Let's answer some more Q&A session. Let's get them moving. Okay. Todama says, I've been flirting with this one girl and we had an assembly today. She was really flirting with me. She said that I was her Valentine, but I think she was joking. Should I ask her out? Okay. So if the two of you were flirting and you felt like there was somewhat of a connection or a chemistry there, I think you should totally ask her out. I don't see what should hold you back, especially if she said, even jokingly, you're my Valentine. I would take her up on that and be like, listen, if I'm your Valentine, we're going to spend Valentine's Day right. We're going to go get something to eat after school. We're going to go for a walk. This is going to be a real Valentine's Day date. Look, you listen, you made it what it is. Like, play around and joke with her like that, but actually turn it into a Valentine's Day date. I think it's a good opportunity to kind of lead into that. And it seems like she kind of like threw it out there for you to kind of take the mantle and run with it. The front line is everywhere. No need to spam. Ask your question, and I'll try to catch it in the lineup. You can also use the super chat function if you want to put it front and center. That's also another option there, but no need to spam, because then the mods will block you, and I don't want you to miss out on what we're talking about or miss out on being part of the conversation. Let's see. R4 says, my crush sits next to me in class, but we've never interacted before. What can I do? Okay, that's a good question. If your crush sits next to you, you've never interacted, you got to think about, well, what do the two of you have in common? What can you use to bridge the gap between the two of you? And what I would recommend doing is talking to her initially about something that's school related. Because here's the thing. You're both in the same class. So you're both dealing with the same teacher, taking the same test, doing the same homework. There's a commonality in your experience there, right? And what you're doing in class. So talking to her about class to kind of break the ice and then segue into something else, I think is the best strategy. So you may want to approach her and be like, hey, listen, did you do that homework yet? Because I still don't know what I'm doing for it. Or if there's a test or a project coming up, take something that's happening and use that as the opening, right? Start with just like, hey, have you started studying for the test yet? You know, like I'm trying to get a study group together. To kind of, you know, do better on the test. And use that as the opening. See if she's receptive to kind of just being a school friend with you. And then transition and be like, I feel like I don't really know you that well. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What's your favorite movie? What do you like to do for fun? You know, now that you've kind of broken down the awkward door and you've introduced yourself, now you can start transitioning into kind of just learning a little bit more about her. I think that's the best way to kind of start building something with someone in your class. Let's see. Jalen says, hi Josh, I gave my crush a Valentine's Day card on Valentine's Day, and I know you said no, but she loved it and her boyfriend wasn't mad. Oh, Jalen, I saw you post that in the very, very beginning. Okay, look, here's my take on that. I think that if you have a crush on someone that is in a relationship, I've said it before, you guys know where I stand on that. I think the best thing is to not focus on pursuing someone who's already in a relationship. I think that what you end up doing is you create an awkward situation for yourself where, you know, you create that situation where that person starts to feel like, well, my boyfriend or girlfriend is going to see that you're doing this and it's going to put me in a weird spot, or they may not feel comfortable with it because they're in a relationship and they want you to know that. So I think that in this situation, they seemed fine with it, and that's okay. I'm not saying like it's wrong, it's bad, don't ever do it. I just think you have to just be mindful of how you interact with someone you like when they're in a relationship. Maybe getting a Valentine's Day card to her was just simple and sweet, and she thought it was just a kind gesture, and that's totally fine, and that's pretty cool actually. But I think it's important to just be mindful of how you approach the situations. Okay, let's see. Hamish says, there's a song way back in 1977 called Alone Again, Naturally by Gilbert O'Sullivan. I listen to that every day. I'm going to have to check that song out, Hamish. I don't think I've ever heard it before. Thank you guys again. Thanks to all the mods in here. It seems like there's a bunch of trolls trolling for the sake of trolling. But thank you guys for kind of being on top and helping out and everything. I really appreciate having you guys around. All right, Cheesy says, hey Josh, over the holidays, I may be having my first time. Any tips on anything? I understand if you don't want to answer, as this is quite an out there subject. Cheesy, not an out there subject at all. Totally get where you're coming from. I think everyone here in the stream is, if they haven't already, are going to experience their first time at some point. And I don't know if you see my video on where I talk about my first time, and it was a complete disaster and craziness, but what I would recommend is this. In that process, you may feel too nervous to talk about the experience because you may feel like, all right, I should just try to go along with it and try to pretend like I know what I'm doing. If you feel like you don't know what to do in a certain situation, bring that up to that person, right? Because if it's their first time too, and especially if it's the first time for both of you, neither of you guys know how to handle that situation. And it's the more that you talk about it, the easier it's going to be for you to be on the same page. Because really the last thing you want is for you to do something that maybe oversteps the boundary and makes them feel uncomfortable, or for you to do something that ends up leading to pregnancy or something like that. So have an open conversation there. Make sure you're using protection. Make sure you're just both on board with everything as you move through, because that's going to make the process a little bit more easier for you, right? It's going to make it a little bit more fluid and a little bit more calmer in that experience. And don't worry, it's like a lot of people put a lot of pressure on themselves, like they have to perform and do super well. It's like however things work out, whether it's fast or whether it's long, whatever it is, recognize that you're sharing this intimate experience with that person. And that's the thing that you should really be celebrating with them, that you both experience this intimate moment together. So like I said, talk things through with them, let them know where you stand and how you feel. And I think it'll make that whole situation a little bit easier for you. Okay, jump in and answer some more questions down here. We're at 47 likes. Let's get this to 50, guys. We're almost at 50. All right. Christian says, yo, Josh, I'm pretty sure my crush likes me, but all the time I ask her to hang out, she's busy. What should we do? I really want to hang out with her. Okay, that's a good question. Your crush is always busy. You want to hang out with her, but things just aren't really working out. It doesn't seem like it's in the cards there for the two of you to hang out. Well, partly one of the issues I think a lot of people run into when it comes to asking someone to hang out is that either they keep asking them to do the same type of thing. Hey, are you free Friday? Oh, no, you're busy? Okay. Oh, hey, are you free next Friday? Oh, you're busy? Oh. They keep asking and waiting for that same date that they want to happen. I think what you have to start doing is shifting it so that, hey, they can't hang out Friday because they're busy, they have after school activities, they're hanging out with friends, whatever. Then change it. Say, all right, how about instead, let's meet up during lunchtime and hang out during lunch. Hey, how about instead I walk you to your car or your bus, or we talk a little bit after school and just have like a 20-minute date, 20-minute hangout. Try to change around the type of date that you're asking for, because that flexibility might allow you to find time in their schedule to actually talk. Maybe it's a matter of, before you guys actually hang out on a one-on-one date, maybe you want to just video chat with them, right? You might want to say, hey, listen, I know you're busy and stuff. When you get home, how about you video chat me and let's just chat for a bit? Like doing that, having that little video chat might actually open them up more to want to spend time with you. They might tell themselves, wow, he's a lot of fun to talk to. Actually, I am going to try to make time for him. So try to change the process of how you're asking for that date. A lot of times people just stay stuck on one. Are you free Friday? No. Are you free Friday? No. Are you free Friday? No. And it totally ends up going nowhere. Okay. Todama says, we don't have school on Valentine's Day, so should I ask her out over text or Snapchat? Should I flirt over Snapchat? That's a good question. Some of you guys may not even be in school on Valentine's Day to talk to your crush or whatever it is you want to do. So I get where you're coming from on there. I think that if that's a situation and you're not going to be there around them on Valentine's Day, I think it's totally fine to text them and to talk to them and even make plans with them outside of school, just on your own. Maybe not having school on Valentine's Day actually works in your favor, because it might actually open up the door for you to kind of spend the daytime together. Okay, let's jump in. Let's take a sip of water. I still haven't set up my water buttons yet. Okay. All right. So let's jump into some more questions there. And what I do want to share is this, guys. I know a lot of you guys, have deep questions and have a lot of things on your mind. And I would say one of the best ways to really kind of get a piece of my time so we can work through what's going on in your life, we can talk about what's happening, is to use Patreon. Now, you can either become a patron or you can become a YouTube channel member. Either way, both of them give you access to talk to me one-on-one. Just read through and see the tier levels that I have. But it's a great way to kind of really just carve out a piece of your day, a piece of your time every single month to plan out your goals, to talk about what your next mission steps are. I've been doing this with people like Hamish. I've been doing this with a few other people here that are patrons of the channel and that are YouTube channel members, just kind of like coming together and saying like, hey, what are you working on? What are your struggles? Where can I help you? Let's talk through things. Let's set action plans. So if you're someone that kind of wants that one-on-one attention, you have a question or something on your mind that you need, maybe a second look at how you're approaching things, Patreon is the best way to do that, guys. Check it out if you're interested, and I would truly, truly support having you as a patron part of this community. Atlanta Boy says, I feel like my heart was ripped out of my chest. I might have missed the first part of that. So, Atlanta Boy, fill me in on what we need that water ASMR. I know, right? I got to make that water ASMR video. Maybe when I hit 200,000 subscribers, it'll be like a 20-minute video. It's me drinking water. It's a lot of water to drink, but okay. Anyway, let's see what you guys are saying here. Okay, Yelsha is Trash says, I have a crush on a guy, but we have only really known each other for a couple of months, and I don't really want to make a big deal of Valentine's Day, as I want to get to know him a bit. But what do you think? That's a good question, Yelsha. Here's the thing. If you've kind of known this guy for a few months, and it's not like you're not officially boyfriend, girlfriend type of thing, I think that a lot of people might get nervous or intimidated at the idea of like, oh my God, they want to hang out on Valentine's Day. What are we? You know, all those questions start to arise. Like, are we in a relationship? I think that if you want to spend Valentine's Day with him, which I'm assuming you do, I think bring it up to him and say, hey, listen, are you free on Valentine's Day? We should just hang out, treat it like any normal day and just spend time together. I think what you do in that situation by kind of establishing that is you let them know that, hey, you're not planning on approaching it too romantically, but you're still setting up a date with the two of you. Now, you can still make it a little romantic when you do that, right? You could still bring candy or hearts or anything like that. Hearts, candy hearts is what I'm thinking of. Candy or chocolates or anything like that. You can still bring that and make it part of the Valentine's Day experience, but you're de-emphasizing the idea that it needs to be this super romantic commitment, because a lot of times that may scare people away, especially if you're kind of in that wishy-washy place of like, are we dating? Are we not dating? So I would still approach it, Yelsha, and try to, make it what you need, what you want it to be, which is kind of to spend time with them, right? Okay, Detective Penguin says, what if your crush is the total opposite of you, like a punk and a prep? That's a good question, Detective. I think that 2-hour stream at 200K, you bet, Dono. Definitely do a 2-hour stream at 2-hour stream at 200K. Meditation time, Emma, we're going to get to meditation not too long from now. Okay, 24-hour stream for 1 million. That sounds awesome. I would love to do it. I would die. Like, go crazy doing that. I don't know how people do those 24-hour streams. Anyway, Josh Drinks, good YouTube channel. Okay, where was I? I forgot what the question was. You guys distracted me. All right, I don't remember what I was answering. Okay, I'm just going to jump in and pick another question and start talking about that. Drew Orr says, did I get your question? I might have missed it, Drew, in the mix of all the stuff. Let's see. Okay. Tadama says, if I ask out this girl and she says no, is there a way to recover our friendship, or is it an all or none kind of thing? That's an interesting question, Tadama. If you like this girl and you ask her out and she kind of gives you the no, you have a few different directions you can take it, right? The first direction is, hey, she said no, I'm going to move on, forget about her, right? And that's kind of sometimes the hardest direction, because you still like her even though she said no. But that's an option. Another option is, hey, you know what? Let me take time away. Let me focus on myself. Let me pursue other people, talk to other girls, flirt with other people, work on myself. And then in the future, maybe I'll come back around and ask her out again when I feel like I've grown as a person. To me, that seems like the more realistic path. Because you open yourself up to the possibility of dating rather than just totally cutting off and saying, that's it, I'm done, never going to approach him again. And you're not putting so much hope and stock in it. You're just saying, hey, listen, if it happens, it happens. Now, the third path, which I do not recommend, and I think a lot of people do fall into, is that they still communicate with that person even though they rejected them. They still talk to them. They fall into that friend zone, and they start to have this disdain or regret or anger towards their crush for just not liking it back. Try your best not to fall into that third place. I think the second place is the best and healthiest place to be, which is, hey, I'm going to focus on working on myself. I'm going to still interact with them if I run into them, right? Because just because you're not dating doesn't mean like they're invisible now. They still exist in your life somehow. And I think just focus on working on yourself and growing. Rage Master says, is it okay to ask questions and advice on Discord? Absolutely, Rage Master. I'll put Discord up here again. Guys, what I love about our Discord is that I think it's a really helpful community. I see people ask questions all the time. I see people share stories, talk about their experiences in there. I think it's a great place to kind of meet like-minded people that want to be their best selves. There are a lot of awesome people in there, like Dono and Hamish is in there, Anthony is in there, like good people that just care about each other. And really, it's like what I've learned through watching the people interact in Discord is that I keep yawning. Sorry. What I've learned is this. It's that when you are in a position where you see someone needs help and you have the power to offer that help, whether it's sharing advice, whether it's listening to them, that helps you grow as a person because you're working on those skills. You're tightening those muscles, those care muscles, those consideration muscles, those listening muscles. You're working on that. So I've seen a lot of people on Discord kind of practice that, and I see them growing and evolving, becoming more mature, becoming more peaceful, becoming more calm. And I think that's an amazing thing. That's why I love the community that we have, guys. I feel like it's a great place. So join the Discord if you're not on there already. Okay. Let's jump in. More questions, guys. If you haven't already asked a question, put it in the chat. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Pyro guy says, should I send a gift or a love letter for Valentine's Day for one of my long distance that I dumped for a while because I was an idiot a few months ago? We still love each other. Pyro guy, I'd consider myself somewhat of a romantic, just internally. Maybe I'm not the most romantic person, but I think that if, you feel like you messed up with them and you want to get their attention back, listen, there's nothing wrong with sending a card or sending a letter. I don't know if you should kind of send a love letter, totally like apologizing. I think that apology conversation probably should be maybe a second or third conversation. For now, you may just want to send a card and say, hey, listen, you've been on my mind. I really hope you're doing well. I hope we can talk again. Something of that nature that's simple and easy to kind of show them that you care. You're doing that outreach. Then when you guys start talking, you maybe can go into the deeper points of it. But I think just letting them know that, hey, I care about you and I still want to talk to you is kind of the first step you should probably take. Okay. I'm reading through some of your guys' questions here. Jonathan says, Josh, I need help. I have a crush and I don't know how to talk to her. Any ideas? Jonathan, I have tons and tons of videos that I think will be super, super helpful for you. I would highly, highly recommend checking out a bunch of my different playlists on that topic. But if you're too nervous to talk to your crush, you don't know what to say, I've already talked about the icebreakers. I think that's a good guide. But I think first start with 3 basic steps. I've mentioned this before, and for those of you guys that are in here who heard it, I'll repeat it again. 3 basic steps you should always kind of focus on and lock down. If you can do these 3 steps, just anytime you see your crush, I think you're able to talk. You'll build that skill to talk to them. 3 steps are this. Make eye contact with them when you see them. Right? A lot of guys just kind of look away nervously, and that doesn't help really build their confidence. Smile, right? Because you don't want to look at someone and just have that creepy staring at them look. So smile back when you see them and say hello. Smiling and looking at them is okay, but you need that third component of saying hi to them when you see them. So it's like, hey, how's it going? Just that simple interaction whenever you see them, where you're not going to kind of hide your head down, but you're going to keep your chest up and say, hey, how's it going? Is going to start to show them that you're confident enough to interact with them. The more that you do that, the easier it's then going to be to actually stop them one day and say, hey, how's it going? By the way, let me get your opinion on something, and start a conversation from there. Okay, Drew Orris is, this is a question I think Drew was asking before. My crush is in my positive psych class, and we have to do a group project. She's in my group. We have a text group chat started How can I get the ball rolling towards asking her out? That's a good question, Drew. I did a video a while back on how to ask someone out that you're in a project with or in a group with. I think that if you guys have a group chat going, one thing you may want to start to do is if you can get everyone together in person to hang out, right? Even if it's the whole group, that might make it a lot easier for you guys to kind of just be calmer and interactive with each other. Because if you can hang out in person then with your group and your crush being there, you now have the opportunity to kind of flirt with her and joke with her in real time. And the more that you have that face-to-face interaction with them, then it's going to be easier for you to go back and DM them separately. Or you may want to ask a question in the group chat and say, hey guys, what do you think about this? And then when your crush responds, you may want to DM them separately and say like, oh my God, that's crazy. And start the conversation outside of the group chat. Emma says, Josh, can you catch me up tomorrow about the after party? I'm going to celebration. No problem, Emma. Happy you were here for the live stream. I hope you have a good time at your Valentine's Day. That's what I'm looking for. Enjoy your Valentine's Day, Emma. Have a wonderful, wonderful time. Okay, let's see what more you guys are saying. The Discord has a video game channel. Anthony says it just broke out laughing. Let's see. Okay, Jonathan says, Josh, the thing is she's always quiet and so am I. I have one class with her. How can I get her to play basketball with me? Thanks. So that's a good question. How do you get her to play basketball with you? Well, I think that if you guys are always quiet around each other, like, here's the thing. When you're nervous and shy around someone, don't ever underestimate the power of group activity. Because in groups, right, when there are lots of people involved and lots of people interacting and talking to each other, it becomes easier to have a one-on-one dynamic because there is so much pressure on just the two of you, right? Think about it like this. Let's say it's just you and your crush there talking to each other. There's a lot of pressure where you have to keep a conversation going. But if there's 3 or 4 or 5 people there, well, you may talk to your crush and then you may talk to this person and they may talk to them. So there's a lot of potential conversations that can happen that can fill those awkward silences. And it might make it easier for you to have smaller conversations with your crush. And that might be the road you want to take. So when it comes to getting them to play basketball with you, try to get a bunch of people to play basketball with you. Try to get a team game going because having that group dynamic may make it easier for you to start to launch into the one-on-one interactions. Hamish, I'm incredibly proud of you. I know smoking is hard for so many people to give up, but I think it's one of the most beneficial things anyone can do if you're a smoker. Giving up smoking is one of the best ways to increase your life expectancy, increase, the airflow through your lungs, to keep yourself healthier. So Hamish, my hats go off to you. My hats. I have multiple hats in this equation. The water just fought back. Okay. Is it going to be posted on YouTube? Yeah, all my live streams are posted afterwards. What I do is this. So if you kind of missed the first half or you're someone that, jumped in right now and you're like, oh, what's going on? I always jump on and I add the timestamps to the live streams. So check that out probably tomorrow morning or something like that. I'm going to have all the timestamps for all the questions that I answered. So you can jump around and say, oh, wow, Josh talked about Valentine's Day gifts here. Let me jump to that question. So that'll be available for you guys. I think it's, at least from what you've told me, it's been super helpful. And I love adding those on because I feel like it gives the live streams a lot more context. Okay, let's jump on. We have about 13 minutes left here before I jump into the Instagram after party. Like I said, if you're not already following me over on Instagram, you need to go follow me. The Josh Speaks. I'm almost at, I believe, 4,500, what am I at? Let me check. Followers on Instagram. I'm at, I just passed 4,500. Okay, so we just passed 4,500, guys. Dono, thank you so much for the $1 super chat. I super, super appreciate it, man. I'm so grateful to have you as part of our community and as part of our team here, helping on the Discord, helping on the live streams, man. I really, really appreciate all that you do. And I really want you to know that I love having you here. And I love seeing your growth. I feel like since we first started talking till now, you've really grown so much. I think you've become a more patient person, a more understanding person, and definitely a more helpful person, not just for me and all the things here, but for all the people involved, all the people that you interact with and talk to. So thank you again, Donna. I appreciate the $1 super chat, man. Love having you a part of the community. So like I said, Instagram after party, guys, right after this live stream. Let's jump in. More questions. Yancey says, hey, Josh, I want to date a celebrity singer, Selena Gomez. Can normal people date a celebrity? That's a good question, Yancey. I think that it is possible for normal people to date celebrities, but you have to think about it like this. Let's say you're the celebrity. You're interacting with lots of people all the time, right? People come to your concerts. People come see you and perform. People talk to you here. People talk to you there. You're interacting with so many people. And sometimes it's difficult for celebrities to have relationships with a normal person because the celebrity is always traveling or the celebrity is always here, always there. So sometimes it's easier for celebrities to date people in that celebrity world because they have an understanding of that type of lifestyle, right? Like you and me, I don't know what it's like to tour. I don't know what it's like to go to perform in concerts. I don't know what it's like to launch music albums. So it's easier for them to be alongside someone that has a relatable experience. And I think the same goes for you, Yancey. It'll probably be easier for you to date someone that has a more relatable life experience to you. Someone that's in school, someone that's working towards, college or work or whatever it may be. Okay, let's read through. ADS Navarro says, hey, last year my crush and I did a singles club on Valentine's Day. This year I'm single, but she's not. But still, we're doing a singles club again one-on-one. She knows I have a crush on her. Why is she doing this? That's interesting. So she's not single, but you are, and she kind of still wants to do it. Honestly, it's hard to say. It's possible that maybe she does still like you. Maybe she does still have some kind of feelings, or maybe she does want to just keep the tradition going. Maybe she feels like, oh, we did it once and I feel kind of bad walking away from it here. I think ultimately you have to just ask yourself this. It's that if you do still like her, do you think that being part of this singles club is going to make it harder for you to kind of manage those feelings of liking her but knowing that she's with someone? Or do you think you're going to be okay with it? If you feel like you're going to be okay with it, then yeah, go for it. Spend a day with her. See what her vibe is with you. But if you feel like it's going to kind of bring you down and make you feel kind of bummy because it's like, she's in a relationship, I can't really build anything with her here, you may want to think about not doing it or doing it with someone else or bringing other people in. Let's see. Looking through what you guys are saying here. Jonathan says, Josh, another thing. How can I move to her seat on the bus and talk to her? That's a good question. So let's say you're on a bus with your crush and you want to sit next to her. I think the best way to do something like that is try to play up the dynamic of hey, let me get your opinion on something. Hey, you like this thing, right? Let me see. I'm curious what you think. Try to think about something that she likes and then ask her a question about something related and use that as the way to kind of lead in. So for example, let's say the girl you like loves playing Fortnite, right? Let's say she's a huge Fortnite player. You might want to jump in and say, hey, you play Fortnite, right? Well, I was having a debate with my friends about so-and-so about Fortnite and stuff. Now you have a reason to approach her and talk to her on the bus because you're asking for her personal experience on something you know that she likes. So I would take that type of approach in a bus scenario. Tactical says, Josh, I really like this girl and I think she likes me back, or I'm getting seriously friend zoned. Hold on. You like this girl, you think she likes you back, or are you getting seriously friend zoned? If she says she doesn't want to lose her friendship, what should I do? Tactical, I hate to break it to you, but it does sound like you might be getting friend zoned. If she told you something like, hey, listen, I don't want to lose our friendship and stuff, then she probably knows that you like her, and she probably doesn't really want to build anything beyond that. She probably enjoys the idea of having you around, talking to you, but doesn't really want to explore that. Now, the question really comes down to, what are you comfortable with? Are you okay with just maintaining that friendship and being in the friend zone where you still have these deep feelings, and whenever you're around her or you talk to her, those feelings kind of nudge their way to the top and it makes you feel uncomfortable? Or do you feel like, hey, I'm totally okay with it. I can maintain a friendship. I'm nothing to worry about there. And you can be friends with her and you're okay with it and it doesn't bother you. You have to kind of weigh that for yourself, but ultimately it does sound like she may have put you in some kind of a friend zone there. So I want to do another chat poll here. I want to ask you guys this. I want to get your opinions on this. A lot of you guys said you'd be spending, a lot of you guys and girls in here said you'd be spending Valentine's Day single by yourself. So for those of you that have school tomorrow or will see your crush tomorrow, do you plan on asking them out? Do you plan on asking them to spend Valentine's? Or are you just going to kind of accept, hey, I'm going to be single, I'm not even going to try? For those of you that feel like I'm ready for it, I'm ready to ask them out, kind of covered a lot of bases, this is the time. Are you going to do it? Or are you going to kind of hold back and wait till another day to ask them out? Are you guys asking out your crush for Valentine's Day? I want to know the answers. Yes or no? Write it in the chat here, guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Hey, David Cope. Always a pleasure to have you in here. Guys, David is from Australia. He's been my friend for years and years now. And we started off as pen pals, so it's always great to see him pop in the chat and say hello. Hello, David. So I asked you guys, are you going to ask out your crush for Valentine's Day? Yes or no? Here's what you guys had to say. German says yes. Victor says maybe. Jonathan, yes, if I can. German says yes. Justin, nah. German, maybe. R. Frois, maybe. Cat Angel says no, but I want to see her, though. David says no. Typhoon says no, not at all. I'm fine building my planes all night. Cool, man. Great. Great. I was gonna say Grave back. Gave back. Epic Gamer says no. Jared says no way, Jose. Gavin says hopefully, but I really like her because I really like her. Papa says nah. Already tried today. I hear you on that, man. Jonathan says Josh. Another thing. How do I hang out with her friend group? That's a good question, Jonathan. I'll cover that in a second. Yar says yes. Kajanan says no, as I want to meet her tomorrow. Yancey says oh yes. Let's see. Seeing Call Me Fawcett says yes. Bullet says yes if possible. Alexa says maybe, I really want to. Tadama says maybe if my friends say I should. Donald says no. So yeah, I hear you on that, guys. A lot of you guys are planning on asking them. A lot of you are not. And that's okay. Because like I said, don't allow other people to shape and influence how you carry forward on Valentine's Day. For some of you guys, you may just want to hang out, watch Sonic the Hedgehog for the very few of you that said you're going to watch. Some of you might want to build your planes, watch TV, play video games, do something that's relaxing and calming and not stress and think too much about it. While others might actually want to ask out their crush and make something happen. It sounds like not a lot, but a few of you guys are in confusing situations where you like someone, but you don't know where you stand, or they're giving you mixed signals, or they told you they only see you as a friend. And I think in those situations, Valentine's Day ends up being a really great opportunity to kind of push yourself and take a chance, right? Because what's the worst that can really happen? At the end of the day, what's the worst that can happen? They say no. They tell you they don't like you. They tell you they only see you as a friend. No matter what their response is, it's not going to be something that's so detrimental that it's going to stop you and prevent you from moving on and talking to other people. Yes, it's going to hurt. Yeah, it'll suck if they say no and may bring you down for a while. But one person's no is not everyone's no. And sometimes we feel that way, but it's just not, that's not what it is, right? So if your crush just says, hey, I'm not interested, then okay, move on to the next crush, move on to someone else. Allow yourself to practice that sense of self-love. Don't allow one person to dictate your feelings and your mood and how you carry forward in that day, guys. You have what it takes to be somebody great, and your crush should not be the judge, jury, and executioner when it comes to your happiness. Okay, let's answer one or two more questions here before I jump over to the Instagram after party, guys. Let's see. Jonathan says, when is your next live stream going to be? Probably next Thursday. Unless something's coming up, I'll check the calendar, but most likely next Thursday. Soft Wheat says, what if you bought a Valentine for your crush but find out she's taken? Soft Wheat, I hear you on that. If you bought a Valentine for your crush and you find out, spoiler alert, she's taken, maybe give it to someone else, right? This is why I always talk about liking and pursuing multiple people, because you're not held down by one specific person. Let's say you have your main crush and then a secondary crush or a third crush or someone else you want to just get to know. Give it to them. Pursue something with them. Build something with them. Try to keep your eyes open rather than just totally focus on one person, because if you're just chasing one person, it becomes easier for you to become obsessed with them, to develop one-itis, and to get hurt even more by that. Okay, I'm going to answer. Let's answer. Josh needs an Oscar award. You love me. You really, really love me. I forgot who said that, but that was one of the Oscar quotes from back in the day. Okay. Let's see. Gayback says, I don't think I will since I haven't spoken to her for weeks. How do I reconnect with her? Yeah, look, if you've fallen off with your crush and Valentine's Day is tomorrow and you want to make something of it, well, what you could simply do is this. Shoot them a message or talk to them in person and just simply say something like, you know what? I had a dream the other night about you and just popped in my mind. Or, oh, I was thinking about something you said and I feel like we haven't talked in a while. So I just want to catch up with you and ask you how you're doing. So jumping in with that, like, hey, something triggered in my mind to talk to you is a good way to kind of just get that going. And you can always just say, like, I feel like we haven't talked in a while. Like, fill me in on what's been going on in your life. How's everything? Try to take that approach. So without further ado, guys, I want to start to transition over to my final thoughts here before I do the mindfulness moment, our meditation. Guys, when we talk about how to ask your crush out for Valentine's Day, like I said before, treat Valentine's Day like any other day in the sense that it's an opportunity for you to approach your crush, to talk to them, to make something happen. Yes, there's going to be a lot of hype from other people around you about Valentine's Day, but you have the power to make your own decision here. If you decide, hey, listen, I don't want to buy into the hype, I just want to hang out and do my own thing, go for it. If you feel like, hey, let this be the reason why I go talk to my crush, go for that too. Either way, remember this. You are worthy and deserving of love. The love of your family, your friends, anyone. Your love is not determined by how other people perceive you or how other people interact with you. You yourself, as you are someone worthy of that. And no matter how you spend your Valentine's Day, I want you to remember that. Okay, guys, let's jump into our mindful, where's the bell? Here we go, bell. Let's jump into our mindful moment here. I have my meditation bell here. And what we do in this moment to kind of wrap up the stream is this, guys. I like to take 10 seconds to kind of breathe. I want everyone in here to kind of close their eyes and just pay more attention now to the sound of my voice rather than looking at my big face. Pay attention to the sound of my voice here as we think about Valentine's Day, as we think about this idea of love and love for yourself and love for the people around you. I want everyone in here to take 10 mindful seconds to think about that sense of love, how you can demonstrate it more in all of your interactions with other people, and how you can demonstrate it for yourself. Let's take 10 seconds, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of this live stream, guys. I appreciate having you in this community. I appreciate being able to share this time with you. And I thank you guys for that. Let me jump over to the end here. If you haven't already, check out my Valentine's Day playlist with all my different videos breaking it down. If you want to get that last minute info on how to make tomorrow special, check out the playlist right there, guys. And if you're interested in learning more about how you can become a patron and part of this community, check out the link to Patreon right underneath it. On that note, guys, I will catch you next time. Happy Valentine's Day. As always, love and peace. It never ends when I click end. Sorry, guys.